You know what I think? I think someday they will study these exact years. Someday these will be referred to as the darkest days, the end of journalism. In fact, there's no recovering from where we are right now. This is no way to fix what's been broken. The media, as we know it, is officially dead. DOA. What actually happens versus what they're willing to show you, what's really said versus what they're willing and wanting to let you hear. That's the stuff of dictatorships. That's the stuff of totalitarian regimes where the media is owned by the government or powerful thugs, sometimes both. It's not supposed to happen in America. We have a free speech mandate in the Constitution, and yet here we are. CBS was forced to pay President Trump $16 million to start in a settlement over their egregious editing of an interview with Kamala Harris right before the 2024 election. Who can forget this?
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
They took out all the nonsense words. They made her sound a tiny bit articulate when she wasn't. That's not just a lie. That's election interference, and it should be treason. Omitting information about someone vying to become the leader of the free world, helping their image and their voters through outright lies. Selective editing is a lie, folks. Selective editing is a lie. It's a classic element of a dictatorship, too. State-run television. It's Orwellian. They learn nothing. Well, apparently, CBS wants to lose more money because, yet again, CBS shows that has a clear-cut agenda, the Democrat agenda. Yet again, CBS proves that it has completely abandoned any semblance of real journalism and, for that matter, democracy. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem joined Face the Nation over the weekend on Sunday, and what you're about to see is the full answer, and below it, what was actually aired on that propaganda show.
And the one thing that we will continue to do is to make sure that he doesn't walk free in the United States of America. This individual was a known human smuggler, a MS-13 gang member, an individual who was a wife beater, and someone who was so perverted that he solicited nude photos from minors. And even his fellow human traffickers told him to knock it off. He was so sick in what he was doing and how he was treating small children. So he needs to never be in the United States of America, and our administration is making sure we're doing all that we can to bring him to justice.
They cut out all that context. They just took the first part and then they went ahead and had their little stupid ideas tossed around. It's a problem. It's selective editing. It's censorship. I left Newsmax because of that. I walked out the door. Here's my contract. I said, no, thank you if you're going to do that. They said, we have to. I said, goodbye. These people are not journalists. They're propagandists. Let's be clear. They're not editorializing something that was said after the fact. That would be fine. They're not even allowing what was actually said by a high-level government official to actually even be heard on the air because they don't like what she was saying. Noem stated facts about Abrego Garcia being a known human smuggler, MS-13 gangbanger. That's not convenient for CBS. Noem stated facts about him being a wife beater who solicited nude photos from minors. But that also not convenient for mainstream media, legacy media. Think about it. This isn't just about Kristi Noem. This is about journalism. This is about truth, transparency, and trust. If CBS can edit out the truth here and there, what else are they hiding from Americans? Joe Biden's demise? Probably. This isn't about Americans being anti-press. It's about because CBS and their fellow journalist comrades keep proving again and again that they just cannot be trusted. They won't even let the truth about the horrors committed by an illegal to be mentioned on their air. That's the level of effort being used, being deployed by Democrats to protect a violent illegal. This isn't the media. It's actually public relations. The media has become the public relations office for the Democrat Party. Take out the word media, whatever that means, and definitely remove the word journalism. Let's call a spade a spade. The media is the Democrat Party, period. Last week, a sick, mentally disturbed man shot up a church at a Catholic school. He killed 2 children, injured more than a dozen other people. He murdered innocent children. At the bottom of an article about the shooter, tiny, tiny, tiny line down there at the bottom. See it? Correction. A previous version of this article used the wrong pronoun for the shooter. She used female pronouns, said NBC News. Children were slaughtered, but NBC made sure to get those pronouns right. Formerly known as the media has created a new truth, and it's an extension of the deranged left's view of the world. Born a man, a biological man, NBC, a mentally ill man who turned to violence because of a forced agenda to turn every child in this country into some sort of transgender person. There, fixed it. That's the actual truth, but you won't print that either, will you, NBC? But they can't help themselves. Watch CNN's Brianna Keilar trip over herself to protect the illness they've propped up, only to have Seb Gorka shut her down.
By CNN's count, when you look at 32 school shootings since 2020, in which you have 4 or more people who have been killed, so these are the larger school shootings, only 3 of 32 of those shootings were committed by transgender shooters.
Yeah, forgive me if I don't go with CNN stats, okay?
Yeah, and what's even crazier is what happens to liars when they lie enough times. It becomes their truth, too, somehow. It becomes their own truth, their own reality. Gaslighting. They don't even realize what they're doing anymore. The denial runs so deep for so long, they can't even see it in themselves. Over the weekend, the liberal sickos went into overdrive. Our president, who speaks to cameras nearly every single day since he became president again in November, was suddenly away from the cameras for a day. Immediately, they decided President Trump was gravely ill, maybe dead. Many of them said he was absolutely dead. Of course, when Joe Biden only appeared once on a Wednesday and once on a Friday, there was weeks he didn't appear anywhere. Before jetting off to some Delaware beach where he lay there almost a corpse, they didn't think much of it because he was their, napping or something. He was their guy. Who knows what he was doing? They didn't care. They weren't going to call him up. But Trump takes a day off. He's dead, right? Side note, what happened to Joe Biden's terminal stage 4 cancer? Anything? I don't know. That came up. Remember prostate cancer? I don't know. Any updates? Media? Or is this media just happy to brush the past? The fact that we had a near-dead president holding the nuclear codes for 4 years, just brush that under the rug. Well, one of the worst perpetrators of Democrat lies in the Biden cover-up, Chuck Todd, NBC's Chucky Todd, came out with this nonsense.
These health rumors, he only has himself to blame, and the entire Trump world only has themselves to blame for this, right? They live in this world of conspiracy and misinformation. They manufactured all sorts of garbage, whether it's about Hillary Clinton's health in 2016, Joe Biden's health in 2020 or 2024. My goodness, they've started congressional hearings based on rumors they created and manufactured on all things having to do with Biden and this auto pen and all this nonsense. So guess what? Good for the goose, good for the gander. All weekend long, where's Donald Trump? How come we're not seeing him? Bottom line is he's clearly got some health issues.
Meanwhile, back in June,
the single most difficult thing to report out on a politician is health.
It's so sensitive. Yeah.
Exactly. It is easy to, frankly, get shamed out of doing it. Right?
It's easier
How dare you? It's a private thing.
Chuck Todd, less than 3 months later, Trump's clearly has health issues. They can't even help themselves. It's what happens when you lie so much that the lies and the truth become blurred into each other. You don't hate the legacy media enough across all of them. Broadcast, ABC, NBC, CBS, cable, MSNBC, CNN, Fox. You don't hate them enough. You need to report the facts no matter where they lead, no matter who you are. And that is real journalism. When the media is biased and hides the truth, you've not only disgraced the profession, it's gone. You've wrecked it. How many times do they need to do it before we make the call? Pull the plug. Pull the plug, folks. 8% Cable news is losing 8% of its audience a year for the last decade. Pretty soon, it'll be down to zero. I'm calling it the media, mainstream media, legacy media, officially DOA, dead.